The town that danced to death. The mystery of 1518. Imagine walking down a street in the summer of 1518. You see a woman. She isn't crying and she isn't screaming. She is dancing, but there's no music. Her feet are bleeding. Her face is pale with exhaustion, but she cannot stop. Within a month, 400 people joined her in a rhythmic suicide. This wasn't a celebration. It was a mass hallucination that left hundreds dead from heart attacks and strokes. Today we dive into the dark annals of history to uncover the truth behind the dancing plague. The nightmare began on a scorching July day in Strasbourg, 1518. Without a word, a woman named Frau Troffea stepped into the narrow street and began to dance. There was no joy in her movements. There was no music playing. Her body twisted and turned with a violent, rhythmic intensity. Her family begged her to stop, but she ignored them. Hours turned into night. Night turned into dawn. By the end of the first week, 34 others had joined her. By the end of the month, the number had grown to 400. The streets were filled with the sound of panting breaths and the rhythmic thud of feet hitting the cobblestones. Their shoes were soaked in blood. Their toes were broken. Yet they continued to leap and whirl under the summer sun. What makes this truly terrifying? They weren't doing this by choice. Witnesses described their faces as masks of pure agony. They were screaming for help with their eyes while their legs refused to stay still. It was as if something or someone was pulling their strings like puppets from the shadows. As the bodies piled up in the streets, the city's leaders grew desperate. They didn't call for a doctor. They called for a priest. The local physicians, baffled by the sight, ruled out supernatural causes. They claimed it was a disease called hot blood. Their cure? Even more terrifying than the disease itself. They believed the only way to stop the dancing was to make them dance more. The authorities built a massive wooden stage in the center of the town. They hired professional musicians, fiddlers, and drummers to keep the rhythm going. They even brought in strong men to hold the exhausted dancers upright so they wouldn't fall. It was a carnival of death. Instead of sweating out the sickness, the music acted like fuel to a fire. The dancers, encouraged by the beat, pushed their bodies beyond human limits. The air in Strasbourg was filled with the smell of sweat and the sound of cracking bones. At the height of the plague, it is said that 15 people were dying every single day. They died from exhaustion. They died from strokes. They died from hearts that simply exploded. Eventually, the music stopped. The dancers who survived were taken to a mountain shrine to pray for healing. And then, as mysteriously as it had begun, the plague simply vanished. But for centuries, scientists and historians have asked, why? Some believe it was ergotism, a fungus that grows on damp rye bread, containing chemicals similar to LSD. It can cause convulsions and hallucinations. What could a whole city hallucinate? The exact same dance for weeks? It seems unlikely. Others point to a darker possibility, mass psychogenic illness. The people of 1518 were living through famine, disease, and extreme poverty. Their minds pushed to the breaking point by stress may have simply snapped, a collective trance triggered by pure terror. Pause, slow, fading heartbeat sound. Even today, we don't have a definitive answer. Was it a chemical reaction, a broken mind, or something even more sinister that we have yet to understand? History is full of shadows, and some of them are still dancing. The next time you feel an uncontrollable urge to move, pray that it's just the music